Good evening, everybody. I appreciate you tuning back in once again. It is Thursday, which means we're going to pick up from where we left off with the last Bumps in the Night episode. Tonight, we're going to fast forward to me at age 19. I was newly married, I was in college, and it was the first time that I had actually left home. Um, Very green. Um, and I moved into a house in a it was a residential neighborhood. I actually had grown up there um, until we moved into the house that we talked about last time we left the house in that area and moved to a more city setting. But anyway, to kind of bring you back up to speed, um, the house that we moved into, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a nice place. Um, the way the house was set up is that you went into the living room and right off of the front porch, and then you could either there was a door that separated a bedroom from the living room, and then you could go off the living room to a dining area through the kitchen, and then there was this little part in the back that the sink was located in, and there was a long countertop, and it was very small. It was only wide enough for one person to get in to do dishes. And then off the kitchen was the bedroom, the main bedroom, and off that bedroom was a small bathroom. And there was a room in between the living room and the bedroom, and you could either we used it as an office, but it was a bedroom. And you could access it from the living room or from the master bedroom. And the way the bed was set up is that if I laid my head down, I could see straight into the bathroom. And we never kept that door shut because it would get really hot in there. We had window air conditioners in, I believe, the bedroom, no, in the kitchen and in the living room. And if you shut the door to the bedroom, it would get really hot in there. So we always kept the bedroom door open and the bathroom door open because it would get really hot. Um, my husband at the time, he was a police officer, and he got up one morning for his shift, and I actually slept through that. But what woke me up was the bathroom door slamming. And I got up, I said, "What did you forget?" No one answered me. The door was shut and nobody answered me. So I got up and I looked through the whole house to see if he was there, and he wasn't. And it was way past time for his shift to start. So I knew he was at work. And honestly, I blew it off as that I was half asleep and that it was my imagination. The kitchen freaked me out. I didn't really like the kitchen. It made me feel very uncomfortable. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but I always felt like somebody was watching me from the kitchen. And I didn't know at the time if I was just weirded out because it was the first house I'd ever lived in besides my parents. I was alone a lot. It was new to me. I was scared. I just wasn't comfortable. So I got a dog. And the dog didn't like the kitchen either. She would really not go into the kitchen much. She would actually try to bypass the kitchen if she could. Now, she stayed out in like a breezeway at night because she wasn't potty trained, and we were trying to keep her out of the house and avoiding accidents, so to speak. But she never did like that kitchen. And sometimes I would be sitting in the living room with her, and I would hear pots and pans sliding around in the cabinets. And I would go in there to check to make sure that I had put them away properly and that they weren't falling all over the place. And they never were. They were exactly how I left them. And I assumed that the house was settling and that the cabinets were settling. I tried to give a logical explanation for the things that I was feeling. But what really pushed me on over was the fact that there was one night that I had a very vivid dream, and it was very real to me, to the fact that I felt like I was awake. And I was standing in that middle bedroom that separated the living room from the master bedroom. And I watched a figure. And I don't know whether it was a man or a woman. I really couldn't make anything out. And this being was writing in blood on the wall of that middle bedroom. And I don't even remember what the phrase was that he or she was writing, but it was just in blood and it was dripping down the walls. And the figure turned around, and it was faceless, and I just felt scared and threatened, and it made me sick. And then I heard a gunshot in the dream, coming from the kitchen. So I walked into the kitchen and I see blood running down the kitchen walls. And I woke up and I called my mom. And I told her everything that I had dreamt, and about the bedroom door or the bathroom door shutting. And she came over with anointing oil, and she prayed over the house and she blessed it, and things calmed down. And I later found out that someone killed themselves in that house, and that they killed themselves in the kitchen. I have chills. So what that says to me is that the energy left behind by the suicide was trapped in that house. And I was sensitive enough to pick up on it, which is why the kitchen always made me feel very strange.